In this tutorial, we will see how to export the documentation of a completed project, and how to access the summary section, from which to manage the economic part and the financial part. Let's first analyze the electrical configurations. Here we have one setup for the shed roof, and one setup for the pitched roof. Under the inverter icon, and then by clicking on the last box, we can see the two configurations: shed configuration and east-west configuration. At this point, we can decide whether to export the two setups separately, in order to have the data relating only to one or only to the other. Otherwise, we can decide to merge the two configurations, by activating the Merge Configurations option. So let's select the fields we want to merge, and rename the new setup generated. We call it Unite 1. Now click on Merge Configuration. It is a good habit, while you are working, to save your project frequently, especially before going to export the documentation. Once the configurations have been completed, and the project has been saved, we can go and click on the Summary button. We can see the three configurations created: shed configuration, east-west configuration, and the last one instead, which merge them both. We select Unite 1. The system recognizes the materials we have used, and offers us the list of distributors, or producers, who supply them. By clicking on the distributor, we will send a request, and we will receive back a quote of the material used. We can now decide to export also the 2D drawings in the single-line diagram, by checking the respective boxes. Export documentation. In this first page of documentation, we can find the main production data of the system. Here we can see the nominal power, the annual energy production, the data on the irradiation performance of the fields, the weather provider we used, in this case Solcast, and one more very important data, the specific production. Here we can see the graphs regarding the weather data, obtained precisely from Solcast. These include the various temperatures of the location taken into consideration, and the global irradiation, on the inclined plane and on the horizontal plane. Here we have the data relating to the individual building slopes. This is the shed roof. This is the west pitch. And this here is the east pitch. We then have the production data relating to the installed inverters, with the data on specific productions, divided for each MPPT of each inverter. In fact, we have both inverters used, the 25 kilowatt one, and the 20 kilowatt one. Down here, instead, we have the actual production data, broken down monthly, where we can see all the losses related to the shading in the system. We can also check where we have drops in irradiation performance. It is a very accurate analysis. We have many small factors, which however affect the annual losses. In this first part, therefore, we have a very precise estimate of the production that our system will have. In the second sheet we find instead, all the technical drawings. inSun creates DWG files that can be downloaded, and imported onto a CAD software. In the third tab, we have the single-line diagram of the system. Here we can see the three 25 kilowatt inverters, and the 20 kilowatt inverter, positioned on the east-west slopes. Also in this case, it is possible to download the DWG format.